Hi, girly.
Hi, girlie.
I'm Eliana,
And I'm Derek.
and this is
The book club
For
for
the
the
Girlies.
girlies.
On today's episode of For the Girlies, this is going to be part two of our chat about.
The Holidays by Brittany C. Cherry. Um, if you saw part one, you saw we got into our likes and our dislikes, and now you're here for part two. We're diving a little bit deeper. But before we dive a little bit deeper, make sure that you have liked, comment, make sure that you have liked, commented, and shared this video, and subscribed to our channel. Thank you very much. Also, hit that notification bell in the corner so that you are notified when we're posting.
Please make sure to follow us on all of the social media platforms. They'll
Mhm.
be down, our links will be down in our description box below. Make sure that you are kind to everyone in the comments, kind to each other, kind to the author, and kind to us.
Yes, please.
And spoiler alert, friends,
Mhm.
since we just said we're going to be diving deep into this, there will be spoilers. So just turn the volume a little low, but don't mute us, please, because we want to get the view, and make sure that you do read this book and come back and join the discussion with us. We'd love to have you.
So, with all the business done, let's get into it.
The first thing we're going to get into are some moments.
Mm.
You got anything that you want to chat about?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like we'd we'd be doing a disservice to our FMC if we did not discuss her wedding. Huh. Huh. And let me tell you specifically what upset me about this wedding and why it was such a standout. I mean, it was a standout moment because it literally is like the beginning of the book, and of course, it's a standout moment. It drives the story, but her best friend, we meet her best friend, and she's trying to convince her, like, or are you sure this is it? Are you sure he's
Mhm.
the one? Are you sure? And I'm thinking, me, I'm like, that's a good friend. I'm like, clearly this guy
Yeah.
is dirt. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I was like, clearly this guy's dirt. Clearly, listen to your friend, sis.
I was thinking Holly was delusional. I was like,
Yeah,
girl, how do you not know if your best friend hates him?
you can't marry him. Like she's giving you the hints. This is your bestie. They get to the owl, and that the man objected his own wedding, y'all. His own wedding, and she's like, "It's a joke. He joking. Is he joking? No." And he's like, "I'm in love with you," and he's talking to her best friend. Her best friend is trash. And
It was specifically the moment for me where he has tears in his eyes and she says he's looking at me, but he's not looking at me and he's saying, I love you. And so then she looks back and she sees that her best friend also got tears in her eyes too. And she goes, I love you too. What?
oh, my heart broke for her.
Yeah, that was awful. And then they like grab hands and they walk down the aisle.
Embarrassing. Do not embarrass me.
No.
You're my best friend. Don't embarrass me, bro.
And that was going on for a long time too. I was just thinking, I wish her dad would have punched him.
Hello?
Cause
Or
why
her
did,
brother. Like, why are y'all there?
yeah,
If
why
we're
did
not getting active.
everybody there that is her
My
family?
mom. This I'm never gonna be in this situation.
No.
But the fact that the fact that he was able to walk, the fact that they were able to walk out of that wedding is crazy to me. Because the way my peoples would turn up is
Yeah.
behind me.
Yeah.
It was just insanely absurd to me. And she says later on that like she was more upset with Cassie than she was with Daniel.
Of
It's just
course.
like
Best friend since 9 years
we
old,
don't
as we
do that.
established
We
in the
don't
last
do that.
episode.
We don't do that. Nah.
I'd rather you have told me ages ago that you felt something for him. I'd rather you have told me that then, and maybe we still would not be friends, but I'd rather you have told me that
Don't
then.
do that to me. Don't let me do that. Don't let me go out there and walk down this aisle and put on that dress and stand in front of my peoples Don't let me do that.
Cause you hate me. That's why
Don't let me
that's why
do
they did
that.
that. They
It was
hate her.
hateful. It was so hateful. It was so ugly. Oh, my heart broke for that girl. I hated that. But yeah, that was my moment.
Okay. My first moment would be a funny one, and it's um this is we're going all the way to
Hmm.
the end of the book.
Okay.
And Kai and Holly had some kind of misunderstanding. Penelope, his ex-wife, comes to give him the divorce papers. She kisses him. Holly catches that, of course. And after a few days of her not talking to him, he finally catches her in the elevator and she goes, I need space. And he steps back. He said, Is that enough space?
Who you playing with?
I cracked up.
I love him. I really do.
I thought that was
No,
hilarious.
it is
Because
funny.
the way I would have lost my mind if
Truly.
he did that to me, I'd be like,
Is this enough space? Nobody knows how to push your buttons like the men in your life. I'm telling you.
absolutely.
No one can push your buttons.
Absolutely. Anyway, give me a moment.
Another moment I had. Oh, so this is kind of similar to in our last video. I mentioned the quote that reminds me of E. This is another one. I was like, um, when they met, and he was like, "Oh, you think just because you have a pretty face and da da da." He's like, he's tearing into her, and she goes, "You think I'm pretty?" And he was like, "What?" She was like, "You just said I had a pretty face, so you think I'm pretty?" He's like, "That's what you got out of that." Yeah, that's what I got out of that. That's all I hear.
It's
Like,
true.
you
That's
think I'm
literally
pretty?
me. I'm like, screw everything else you just said. Hey, you think I'm pretty?
So you think I'm pretty?
Thank you. Um, Another moment I had was I'm glad he didn't tell her his feelings when she was having the breakdown over Matthew. Because
Thank you.
Mano was like, You had the perfect opportunity. She was there crying all night. You should have told her. And he was beating himself up too.
Yeah.
But I think his instinct was right to not
True.
say anything to her at all about that.
When he was reading her dating profile, I was like, Miss Mamas,
This is a theme now.
what the heck is this? It was insane. She was.
You know what's
It was
funny though?
concerning. It was a concerning
It really
profile.
was, but I felt like it was very realistic at the same time. I felt like I
I've
could
never seen
see
any. I mean, only like,
no, no,
yeah.
I've never seen a girl's dating profile, but I've heard girls describe what they want in someone and like
Right. I thought it was realistic for her. Excuse me. Thought it
yeah.
was realistic for her to have those feelings and wants. I thought it was insane to put all of that on a dating profile.
Absolutely, but I've also heard of them telling guys that on dates.
God bless y'all.
Exactly.
Tell me if you have a dating profile, are you that detailed? What's your profile looking like? One.
Yeah.
And two, are you that detailed? Or have you
Are
ever
you
been that?
spilling your guts
Yeah.
on this
Cause
dating profile?
Holly was like, I want a man, we gonna build snowmen together and drink hot cocoa and do sleigh
You know,
rides.
I've seen guys on their dating profiles do that too. I've seen them do
Much I don't know. It's scary.
that. Yeah,
It's so
I've seen
scary.
guys do that too. Like, I want a girl I could take home to mom and cook some lasagna and what like yeah, no. Dating apps are
Insane.
dangerous, you guys.
Truly. But shout out to the people who they worked for. We have a friend and it 10 out of 10 has worked for her.
Yep. Okay. Another moment that I had was oh, when she was reading Kai's dating profile,
Mm-hmm.
because it said just looking for Holly. I also froze at the dating
So did
profile.
I.
Smooth move, Mano.
I
Smooth
can't believe he
move.
did that.
That was
He
crazy.
got game.
He does.
I was like, Mono.
Yes. Right after that, because it was related, because then they started chatting, but wasn't Kai that was chatting with
It was
her. It was
Mono.
Mono literally catfishing her. His speech to her was so good too. He was like, I want to officially throw my hat in the ring. This is my application, blah, blah, blah.
It
I was
was
like,
so good. I was like, Kai, what happened?
Kai or Mono?
I'm saying, but before I knew it was
Oh, okay,
Mono,
okay.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Kai.
I believed it when I
Me
first read.
too. He
I was like,
hoodwinked me. I was like, am I a fool?
because also, though, let's be honest, Kai seemed like, I think you would think he doesn't have a lot of like game,
Hmm.
like he wouldn't be very smooth. But then when he actually opened his mouth, you'd be like, oh,
Okay.
okay. So this is what you were pre, you know,
He
cheating,
also got married
affair,
super
divorce.
young,
Yeah,
and yeah, he only been with
yeah,
his wife.
yeah. This is what you were before you closed your heart off to everybody.
Yeah, big fella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live. So my next moment was also the fake date profile. And I wrote, Mono got game low key. Like
High
what?
key.
High key. The fake profile dedicated to Holly was just really great. Just a little bit of the specifics of the dating profile. It was like, I'm looking for Holly, and then like all the photos. Um, the last photo was like a photo that she had taken of them, of Kai and Mono, and it was like Holly who took this photo. I was like, Kai's really putting it out there.
Yep.
I was really proud of him, and it wasn't even him. Shout out to Mono. It was great.
It was
It
genius,
was like the puppet has become the master because
honestly.
it was great. Um, what's next? Oh, their first kiss was insane.
Oh yeah.
We should do it again. She just kept going. It's like, girl, you like him. Boy, you like her.
It was very sitcom-y,
It was
which is
really
really
good.
fun.
I would like to see that on screen. That moment was really funny. It was a lot of like, we should do it again. We should just try it again just to make sure we got it right. And it was funny. It was cute. I enjoyed it.
They were really cute. The last moment that I loved, I've mentioned this before, it's the proposal. So at the beginning of their friendship, they he Kai created a list of do's and don'ts she should adhere to for dating to get past the first date. And this is like at their first year anniversary, he's giving her another list of do's and don'ts. And at the last do, he goes, marry me. And he had written down, will you marry me? So
It was
cute.
so
It was
sweet.
so cute and sweet.
And then she say, "Are you serious?" And then everyone's like, "He's serious!" Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if those were the words, but that was the sentiment of like, yes, like, girl, he's for real. And he was like, "Oh my god, this ain't a New Year's party.
It's an
This is an
engagement party.
engagement party," which is so sweet. I love that.
So cute.
My last moment, not really a moment, but a moment. I knew something was up with MJ.
Mm.
I didn't know what it was. Okay, so there was a
Mm.
part of me because I didn't know how old Mono was at first. I was like, "Is Mono MJ?" I didn't know until they were like, "Oh, he's in high school," and I was like, "Okay, so he's not MJ." But then when they got to the house and they were like, they were floored to see that Matthew was MJ and he was there. I was like, I knew something was up with this guy, but I did not see that coming. That was a great twist. You go ahead, Miss Brittany.
Yeah, that was a crazy,
That was
crazy
insane.
twist.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. What a plot twist.
Okay, so moving on,
Hmm.
we are walking straight into our tearjerker or meaningful quote segment. Please tell me, you got any quotes you want to talk about?
I do. Do you?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
like three.
I got like two big meaty ones.
Mm.
Okay. First one. I wasn't trying to speak down to her for her pain and fear of loneliness. I was trying to connect with her on our common traits. I was trying to tell her everything I wished I could have said to myself, that she deserved better, that she deserved more, that she was worthy of everything she wanted, but it was impossible to build love stories against a bad foundation. That was all I wanted to say to her. That was all I was trying to do. Still, I let her down. Still, I failed. That was the messed up part about being human. Your screw ups sometimes hurt the ones you cared about the most. Why don't people care about me like that?
What? Yeah, that was a really sweet moment. I loved that from him. That it stood out to me as well, just because, dang, buddy, whatever you told her did not sound like that.
Right.
Everything he said to her was awful. It was
It
mean.
was
It was
mean.
rude. It was
Yeah.
condescending. But
Yeah.
that whole little internal monologue of yours made so much sense. Was so kind, caring,
Exactly.
loving, anything, everything you would want in a man.
Truly. And I loved, I guess this is more of a moment too, but whatever. But what I loved about this is, when he gives his feedback on Matthew, and whatever, he was not nice. And then he goes and he apologizes to her, like days later, but he's apologizing for the way he spoke to her.
Not
Not
for
for
what
what
he
not for what he
said.
said, and I loved that. Like it was in the moment, I was kind of like, Kai, but I was also like, but that's real. He's like, oh no, no, I meant everything I said.
Yeah, okay, so I agree. However, it was not coming off that way because he never gave examples. Once he started giving the actual examples, then I was like, oh,
Right?
okay. He is a red flag kind of
Yeah.
person. I the whole time I thought he was just being jealous.
Same. Because he was low key too.
He was. He was. He
He
was. He
was.
had he had valid points, but
He was also, the green monster had bit him.
honestly.
Okay, what about you? Let's hear your quotey.
Okay, the first one is a funny quote, and it's by Curtis, their doorman. He goes, maybe you should take a shower. You kind of stink.
Curtis had me rolling. He was like, "You okay?" She like, "What you mean? You've been in the same clothes for a lot of days." So I was like, "Girl, now I'm clocking you. Get in the shower."
You kind of stink. Imagine your doorman telling you you kind of stink.
Like, excuse me, Mister, open the door. Thank you for that, Mr. Curtis.
So funny. I loved him.
Me too. He was good. Who's gonna play Mr. Curtis?
Mm,
Someone good.
agreed.
Okay, give me another quote.
Okay. Another quote I had was, this is also something that we discussed. She would just go off about squirrels and random stuff, just could talk to a wall. And at some point she was really drunk, and so was he was drunk too. But Kai said to himself, everything she said made no sense, but everything she said mattered.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was so sweet. Cause yeah.
I'm listening though, baby.
Yeah, when you love someone, like
Yeah,
they just be talking
for
sometimes.
sure.
And you're like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, all right, this okay. I'm gonna listen to it.
Right. I don't know what you talking about.
It's going in circles.
Word. But I'm here. I'm supporting.
Or it's a very niche interest. You're like,
Ooh.
I know way too much about this right now.
Better yet, you know way too much about this. You gotta slow it. It's all right that you're doing this with me, cause I love you.
Right.
But
Don't do it
don't
outside.
do it no more.
Don't do
Don't go
it.
nowhere else to do this. You leave that right here. Anytime you need to get that off your chest, call me,
Yeah.
cause I'm worried about you. My last quote: I want every piece of you, and do you know why? Because you're everything. You're the
Mm.
sun. You're the moon. You're the stupid snowman in someone's front yard with the stupid crooked carrot smile. You're every good day and every crappy night and every in between mundane afternoon. So I'm sorry, you can't choose to leave me. It's not an option. Do whatever you have to do to get past this. Be pissed at me, ghost me for a day or two, cuss me out, and shove me around, and don't leave me. But don't leave me. Uh, but don't leave me, Holly, please. My voice cracked as I stepped closer to her. Because if there is no you, then there is nothing. How she didn't get married to him right then and there
I don't
is
know.
beyond me.
He
But
was always saying really sweet things. I
he
didn't
just
understand how
said
she
that
just like,
he was like, give me, like, what do you
yeah.
call that? It's not whiplash, but he was like slapping me upside my head all the
She
time.
she definitely was falling for him, but she at the same time was like, he doesn't like me. I'm like, girl. You think people just talk to each other like that? That's crazy. My last quote was Holly says, "How is love supposed to be loved?" And Kai responds, "I don't know. Quietly, calmly, not in a rush." And I thought that was so sweet. And also, as I've gotten older, I think this is always the description of love that I'm most intrigued by.
Mm.
Why should you rush? You have your whole life ahead of you.
Mm.
I've, yeah, I feel like I agree. That's probably the best way to love is quietly, calmly, not in a rush.
Yeah.
If they're there to be with you for the long haul, then they're gonna be there, pal. You don't gotta rush any of it.
Yeah.
You enjoy it, like savor the moments.
Savor love. Love
Yeah.
should be savored.
Specifically, he was talking about the fact he was referring to the fact that with Penelope, he'd never had love in his life, and then he just
Mm-hmm.
wanted to rush into getting married to her, proposed to her at like 19 years old, and was like, "Oh, this is it! Like I finally have love in my life. Somebody loves me.
Let
I'm
me
just
latch
gonna,
on to it.
yeah, this is, yeah, no, that's not,
No, baby.
that's not the right way, pal."
That was it for me for quotes. You have more?
Me too.
Okay. So let's ease on down the road into what did you learn, Easy E?
I gotta go.
I can
Oh,
go.
yeah, I think you should go.
Okay. Be yourself, ladies. That's what I learned.
Hmm.
Be yourself. There's a guy. You don't gotta put on all the makeup. You don't have to do the things that you think he's gonna do. Something that Holly did was like, is the word pander? Where she'd like,
Kind of, yeah.
yeah, like to what the guys that she was on dates, like, oh, but he said he liked this chocolate, so I'm gonna get him this chocolate. Girl, you went on one date with him. Relax. Why are you trying to like be all the things for this? Create this photo of yourself that's
Yeah.
not true.
Even in the relationship with Matthew, that one of the red flags Kai said was, "You said you wanted steak that night," and he cut you off and said, "She'll have the chicken. It's really great." You like,
Girl, you wanted steak.
yeah, you have your own mind, you have your own thoughts. Why? She was like, "Well, he said that I would really enjoy it."
She's like,
Right.
and I did. Okay, but you said
You wanted the
you wanted
steak.
the
Also,
steak.
that was really stupid because it was at Mono's, so you know what the food tastes like. You can have the chicken whenever you want. You wanted the steak that night. Stupid. But yeah, I agree. Be yourself,
Be yourself. The right guy is gonna see you for you.
honestly. Um, the first one for me was if I'll start it off with the quote. It says, "It took me a long time to realize that being alone was much better than being lonely with the wrong individuals." And that was
Mm-hmm.
Kai. That one just reassured me
Mm-hmm.
that I've made the right choice by not wanting to overextend myself to create connections with people that it just wasn't natural with. I've never been that person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have like a ton of friends, but I have friends and I'm cool with the ones that I have. I don't need more stuff. That's also part of my weird holliness that I don't care if you're uncomfortable or things are weird or awkward. I'm just not going to try to make it comfortable. And it's uncomfortable for her.
Mm-hmm. It really is. Oh, it stresses me out.
And I'm cool as a cucumber.
And I am not. Because you could just, you know, she's nothing. Dead face. And I'm like, no, I have to overcompensate. And I don't want to talk either. I don't care. I don't care to talk either.
So don't.
But we can't just sit here in the silence.
Yeah,
It's
we
making me.
can.
I break out in hives. It stresses me out.
The next quote that I had was, "This whole health situation proved that I'm in the right place, Kai. No one else would have taken care of me the way you have. No one else would have put their lives on the back burner to ensure I was okay." That was Penelope talking
Mm.
to Kai.
And that's why she stayed.
After he found out that she had been cheating on him for months. Yeah, so what I wrote about that was, it reminded me of that thing people say about making sure people love you for who you are and not what you do for them. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've never heard it, now you have.
Right. And also make sure you are loving people for who they are and not what they can
Yeah.
do for you or what they do for you.
Yeah. Make sure loving.
Yeah.
Like this in action. You have
Yes.
to do it. Not just, oh my God, thank you so
All right.
much.
I love you because you do X, Y, and Z for me.
Thank you for letting me suck you dry. That literally is what people be saying to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me suck you
I'm so
dry.
thankful that you let me do this and this and this and this and this and this to you.
So slap in the face. You'll notice it if it ever happens to you. You'll notice it. And the last one was another one from Penelope. She goes, I loved you the best I could. And I think about this often because people say this person didn't love you because of XYZ. And sometimes, yes, I agree. But other times, I think people mimic what they saw was love,
Mm-hmm.
or they created a version of it for themselves that they thought was sufficient.
Oh, 3,000%.
Yeah. And so then the expression isn't ever going to be the same in every person. And we all don't have the same feelings either.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if it's not the way you need, want, or respect being loved, that is also very valid. So I'm just saying there's nuance to it, friends. That person could absolutely love you, and they could also absolutely be abusive toward you. And you don't have to accept that form of love.
Mm. Retweet.
Okay, that's it.
All right, that's it. That's all.
We would go into theories, but
I mean, I don't have nothing to theorize.
me either.
So we're gonna shut it up. Let us know what you think down in the comments below on everything we've just discussed today and in our last video.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you are liking, again, commenting, and sharing this video. Subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell in the corner so you know when we're posting.
Yup.
Make sure you follow us on all the socials. The links are down in the description box below.
And stay tuned for our next episode where we are diving into In a Holidays by Christina Lauren.
I'm excited.
Another Christmas book. And to be clear, Christina Lauren, two people writing these books.
But they never gave Holly and Cassie because they were also,
Yeah.
yeah, never gave that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely not. So we're really excited to read that one, and we hope to see you in those videos. See you at the next meeting, girlies.
Bye, girlies.
Bye, girlies.